Siobhan Sullivan, Real-Time Real Estate, and it's time for our weekly market update. It's been a slightly quieter week according to our office manager. The number of sales were down a little bit, which is not unexpected as we quickly approach the 4th of July. July 4th is typically one of the slowest weeks in the year for real estate, with many people out of town and taking breaks, visiting family and friends. But this year, with the pandemic and because there's a spike in the number of infected people, it'll be really interesting to see how it affects the housing market this summer. So while the volume of sales is down, the market remains strong. We're still seeing multiple offers in many of the transactions. There are a lot of all cash offers, and don't forget, as evidenced over the past couple of weeks, it's not always the highest offer with all cash that wins out. An equally or even slightly lower offer with few to no contingencies will often win over one that's all cash with some contingencies. While we're hearing on national news programs talk of the housing market being down as much as 17%, in our area we're just not seeing it. Our local market is booming as long as people have confidence with their jobs and homes are not overpriced. The buyers are actually out there buying. The news data is just not reflecting the realities of what's going on here. Our Bay Area real estate market is very aggressive, and my takeaway is that for sellers who have been contemplating selling, just go ahead and do it. Buyers' pent-up demand coupled with the all-time low interest rates, for astute sellers, they recognize that this may be a narrow window of opportunity. And my strongest advice to sellers is to be realistic with the pricing, but don't price it at a price where they're not prepared to accept an offer, because while we're seeing multiple offers, we're not seeing and experiencing the stratospheric overbid of the past. And sellers need to remember that if a buyer has an appraisal contingency and the property does not appraise for the negotiated sales price, this can put the sellers back to square one with their marketing efforts. For buyers, the mood is that they want to get into a house now before the interest rates creep up. They've been putting the process on hold. It's resulted in buyers who are really keen to get into that new home and to be just done with it. While there's a sense of urgency, there's also an approach that's tempered with businesslike, disciplined and conservative determination. And that translates to not the huge overbidding. Definitely property is selling if priced and marketed correctly, which goes back to what I was saying before. Here's a fun example. We saw a seller of a property in Portola Valley who had a home on the market for over 30 days, and they accepted an offer that was contingent upon the buyers selling their home in Menlo Park. Now that's a turnaround. What an opportunity for buyers to negotiate. We haven't seen that for a very, very long time. Here's another fun example. There was a very high-priced house for Saratoga, and that was pretty stagnant, sitting on the market since the shelter in place. And now just this week, and it hasn't had a price reduction, the listing agent's beginning to see an uptick in the buyer's interest. So areas like Monterey Peninsula, they're booming. Santa Barbara's hot, and I hear that rental and sales are at an all-time high in places like the Hamptons. It seems that many big city dwellers are anxious to move out of the higher density urban areas. That's about it for this week. Stay safe, stay well, and keep your social distance. And stay tuned right here at Real-Time Real Estate, where I will continue to update you on the latest and greatest market activity here in the heart of our beautiful Bay Area, Silicon Valley.